Morning, everybody. Michelle is here on this Tuesday. Uh, just outside, and it's extremely humid. But we still are in summer, so I expect that. I'm not sure if there's a storm out because, like I said, a lot of my content is blocked. Okay, what I mean by that is I'm not getting too much about what's really going on, and that's happening to a lot of us, and we understand that. We ought to by now. Whereas I only get certain amount of content. I don't get all of the content. And then, I get these harassing messages from a particular site that I love, wanting me to do a survey and this and that and the other, and I'm going to disregard it. Okay, because a lot of people know what's going on, but they just want to stand on the sidelines and be cheerleaders. Well, let me bring up a particular person, and I'm not going to say their name. They know who they are. Let me make sure. I mean, they're still alive. Whereas a lot of people that are familiar with the mission have passed on. This particular person is still alive. Yeah, she's still alive. So, and I know she's paying attention to what's going on. And the reason why she's paying attention is because she was privy to a lot of information back in I think it was in the 70s. Part of this mission started in 75. And she was part of it. She became part of it. Yeah, she's still alive. She's at a great age. And, hopefully this particular person will stay around until the dawning of the age of Aquarius, February 3rd, 2029. They would be, quite up there in age, but hey, it becomes irrelevant, really. And I told you with the dawning of the age of Aquarius, it can be eventful or uneventful. It's all dependent on the consciousness, the evolution of your consciousness, how you've evolved your consciousness. But anyway, so back in the 70s when this all started, there are, I told you about the 144-210s, and there's probably more, or probably less. I don't know because there was several groups of 144s, 210s, or that amount. And a lot of people want to bring, when they hear 144 210s or the 144s, they want to bring they want to bring religion into this situation. Okay, they want to bring some sort of spirituality in that. Okay, they want to bring some type of supernatural into that. Okay, and blah 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 blah. And it becomes after a while, if you've been listening to me, then all that stuff becomes irrelevant. It starts to be watered down and has no meaning to it at all. Like I said, with most of the words that we're using now, consciousness, evolution, love, thoughts, spirituality, all these words that we're using now, that is on everybody's lips, hey, and that's fine, and there's no issue with that. It's on everybody's lips about what we're in, the significance of all of this. Okay, the significance. Okay, and what it could have been for a lot more people. The significance could have been more impactful and could have reached millions and millions and possibly billions of people. So, and would have probably curtailed the disasters we face. Okay, so a lot of people say, I'm going to throw out some quotes, since, and I don't know who these quotes belong to. But these are phrases, quotes, metaphors, whatever you want to classify them as, because it becomes irrelevant, like I said, and it goes watered down. And I remember earlier in my videos, I said, if you know something, say something. If you know something, say something. All right. And I also said that back in March, I think March of '79, there was a significant event happening as well. March of '79, and I said it was during the Carter administration, right? There were other significant events that happened, you know, in relationship that I told you about with the COVID, you know, the beginning stages of the creation of COVID, as we call it now. Because I told you stuff gets watered down. It was called something else back in the day. You know, I think SARS, maybe. You know, it's still irrelevant, because the reason why I say it's irrelevant, because we are experiencing the effects of it. Okay, there was a cause. Now we're experiencing the effect. Okay, there was plenty of room in between when it was caused to change the effect. And that's where people call prophecies and messaging and visions and blah, 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 blah. Okay, so, and when these things were caused, there were people that knew stuff. And with every major event or every significant event on this planet, there were people that knew what was happening, and they could have said something, but they chose not to. Anyway, back to in the '70s, when it was the we were singing that song "Let the Sunshine In," right? Remember that song, "Dawning of the Age of Aquarius," "Let the Sunshine In." You know, everybody was kind of happy, you know. Let's see. From the Fifth Dimension, ironically, we were singing that song, "Let the Sunshine In." I'm gonna get to the words of it in a minute, but it was a significance. Yeah, it was. They were singing that song, "The Fifth Dimension," "Let the Sunshine In," and it was basically about the dawning of the age of Aquarius. Okay, but you know, it's been changed. Some of the initial intentions were changed. How about that? And you know, hey, it became more religious. You know, it became more religious. It started steering towards religion. Okay. So anyway, when that song came out, it was from the album "The Age of Aquarius" by the group Fifth Dimension, and the song was released in '69. You know, and I remember that for some reason. I mean, of course I remember it, because you know, even though it was released in '69, I told you our house was full of music, and I can remember hearing that song, you know, and the group that was singing it and everything. But like I said, stuff started changing and warping and going all kind of in all sort of in some spinning interference. And I told you about the interference, which is that is what's going to really you know, it's going to turn it out. How about that? I mean, hey, we got to laugh now. It's you know, instead of getting all upset about stuff, we really need to just start being a little bit more reflective and understand that the damage has been done, as I said. And so now what is about is your safety. What is about now is your survival. Okay, making sure you're safe, make sure you know, that you'll be able to survive, and at the same time enjoy the moments. Why not? And I told you about reincarnation, right? I think a lot of people are starting to be open to that. I told you, step out in nature, involve yourself with nature, and you know, it'll be revealed. A lot of things are revealed in nature. You know, going outside, putting your hands in the dirt, rolling in the dirt, you know what I mean? And caring for nature, which means the plants, the flowers, and the trees, okay? The birds, the animals, the insects, all of that. And so, yeah. So back in the 70s, okay, like 70, I think 75 is when this mission started. This quote unquote mission. Okay, and it was preparing us for the dawning of the age of Aquarius. All right, back in the 70s is when it took legs, and kind of the legs. This has been, all of this has been prepared. I mean, has been formulated thousands of years. Let's say thousands of years. All right, and there, and of course, when particular people, and so before the help, let's call them the help. The help made mistakes, and thankfully they did. I know a lot of people get all upset because they don't think these high level advanced, let's call them advanced human beings, are not supposed to make mistakes. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Okay, they can't make mistakes, and they have to be above human, more than human. Okay, that's illogical. That's extremely illogical. And I told you, only way we're gonna save ourselves is by human beings. Okay, all right. We've all agreed in most cases that God is energy, and I told you back on several tapes back that you're not gonna be saved by energy per se. You're gonna be saved by human beings. If anybody's gonna save us, it's gonna be human beings. Okay, and I also said that we've already lost that opportunity, right? We've already lost that opportunity. So that means that no one's going to come and save us, right? I know a lot of people get all upset about that. No one's coming to save us. So there were a lot of mistakes made, just put it that way, by the advanced humans, by the high consciousness people, by us individuals. We made a lot of mistakes, but we're supposed to. But at the same time, we're not supposed to keep our heads in the sand or keep redoing the mistake. Like, if you get a warning to not live in a certain place, that means you're not supposed to live in a certain place. Why would you go back and rebuild there? Or if you're getting a warning that there's something going on with the infrastructure, why are we having potholes everywhere? Isn't that like a wake-up call? Why do we have erosion? Is that a wake-up call? So, and I'm going to say more about this stuff later, but I just wanted to say this to this particular person because I know they're listening. Come on now. You dropped the ball. And I don't know why. And I wish you would come forward and tell us. What is the harm in that? I know you're listening. You're at a good age. You're at a ripe age. And you ought to be. And I shouldn't say you ought to be, but I think you're thankful that you're still alive. And chances are, excuse me, you'll be alive by the dawning of the age of Aquarius. Why not? Right? Why not? All right. So this particular person was, before the mission started, the advanced humans, these advanced human beings came forward to help. And the advanced human beings were under a lot of assumptions about us on this planet. They figure, okay, these are human beings, like every other human being on every other planet, right? They're supposed to be behaving and acting like every other human being on every other planet, right? Okay, cool. And so, essentially, there were people there were human beings prior to the ones that were supposed to come in and help us that knew what was going to happen, per se. But they knew that we all have to make mistakes and learn from our mistakes. That's what a good teacher is. A good teacher or a good messenger. They know the answers, but they want you to research it and figure it out. And not believe anything, not have faith in anything, right? So these advanced humans come forward. They want to help. They want to help because they basically caused a lot of the initial issues with this planet per se. So they want to come in and see if they can assist with making it right. Making it right. They had some involvement with all the destruction and disruption and the chaos and whatever relating to this planet Earth. So, but they didn't do their homework. Right? They came in and thought, okay, these people said they want peace. Right? Back in the 1800s, back in the 1700s, every century, these people, these human beings said they want peace. They said they want love. And these advanced humans says, okay, right? They didn't do their homework. Okay, they made some mistakes. Okay, fantastic. So they didn't understand that we would be saying one thing, but our thoughts were something completely. Our thoughts were completely different and counter, more extreme than anything, when they finally realized, because they were paying attention to results too, like everybody ought to. And everybody's looking at the results and wondering, why are they not getting the benefits of these, of this so-called intention of saying, I want peace and love and justice, okay, respect, whatever. It's all watered down and it's irrelevant now what all these words mean, because the words, unfortunately, the words are meaningless. Words are meaningless. It's about action and behavior and results. So these advanced humans saw the results and was wondering, wow. But while they were still figuring that out and learning and attempting to understand, again, these particular type of human beings that came forward, because they apparently knew about the efforts to work with the Carter administration and blah blah blah. So so particular high profile people started coming forward. Why not, right? This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius, preparation for it. Back in the 70s. This was back in the 70s. This particular high profile person, they came forward and they knew, and they went and talked to the so-called teacher, the so-called head of the mission, so to speak, the messenger, whatever you want to call her, prophet, teacher, whatever, irrelevant. But she went to the source of who she was going to be, where information was going to be disseminated to her, for her to disseminate to the world, right? She's a high profile person. This person has a lot of respect, and everybody is like, everything coming out of her mouth, everybody is like, climbing all over each other to hear what's coming out of her mouth. So she was perfect. She was perfect to relay information and to be a disseminator. She was extremely entertaining, extremely, and a high level type. She was given this high level, high profile status. Like I said, whatever came out of her mouth, people were buying it. This person has written a lot of books. Not only an entertainer, this person wrote a lot of books. She was everything. She won Academy Awards. She won Academy Awards, Emmys, Golden Globe. She even got the Kennedy Center honor. She had the AFI Life Achievement Award, Cecil B. My goodness, the accolades this woman received. She started in a lot of major film. That's why she was able to bestow herself so high that way. And she's still going too. She's still going. This woman was fantastic. She had a fantastic life, right? fantastic. I mean, my goodness, the accolades given to this woman, all the, the prestige and, the things that we all die for. Some people die for what this woman has and still has, apparently, right? She's still, like I said, she's still around. And chances are she'll still be here until the dawning of the age. And, she said some things that was controversial, and she got criticized for stuff that came out of her mouth. She was feisty. Trailblazer. She's supposed to be this woman of this kind of strength, right? She's supposed to have had all of this strength and blah blah blah. But like I said, in the meantime, in between time, like I said, in the 70s, this particular high profile person came forward. She's a female, by the way. Female. White female. Okay, so that's million. Try to figure that out. Millions, and she's a white female. So that'll kind of narrow. That should narrow it down, right? Right. Oh, okay. But anyway, I'm just curious what happened. And like I said, she's still going strong. So I hope that she would decide to come forward and tell us what happened. Why she didn't assist, in this mission. And why she dropped the ball. And, what happened. Because I remember, too, around the time when all this is supposed, like I said, starting in 75, when the mission took flight, so to speak. And I can remember this person was all over the television too, especially in the 80s. I can remember seeing her face all over talk show hosts everywhere, talking. She had released these books talking about this and talking about that, and everybody, everybody was like eating everything coming out of this woman's mouth. And so, like I said, she went over. She was supposed to help with the mission. She was supposed to help disseminate some information about the origins of our existence and where we're headed if we don't do this and do that and the other. But she dropped the ball. Just like others are doing the same thing. That like I said, that are exposing themselves. They dropped the ball for some reason. And instead of going in the direction of the teaching or the mission or the purpose, they decided to make it, they decided to, they're the ones that made it entertaining, actually. And started going after people and calling people stupid and carrying on and criticizing this and criticizing that, going after particular genders, and then going after particular races of people, and then now going after particular lifestyles and sexualities and identities of people. And then on top of that, saying that they love children and toddlers and they love babies, but yet they will gladly raise their hand to have people eliminated. Or they'll sit there and watch as people are plotting to eliminate certain people. Or they'll sit there and watch people that they follow and whose ass they're in, mistreat people that have been victims of losing their children and some of these mass killings and these school killings. They'll sit back and let these people that they follow and love and who they are breaking their neck to get them to pay them some attention. Okay, and then they're trying to hide stuff from a particular group of people, saying that they're not conscious enough, they're not worthy enough to know what the truth is, unless they follow them. Okay, people have to follow them before they'll give them the truth. They have to pay them before they give them the truth. All this bullshit. And this particular person, she released a lot of books. And like I said, people are eating them up, eating up her words. And she had a large following of people before social media. That's how powerful she was. But something happened, and this woman disappeared from the scene. And I'm curious to know. I knew what happened to a lot of them. A lot of people got indoctrinated. That's what happened to a lot of people. Okay, and don't be offended when it's revealed to you that you've been indoctrinated, you've been brainwashed, you've been manipulated, you've been deceived. I'm telling you, it's going to be exposed. All right, AI is going to expose it for you. Okay, AI is going to expose it for you. And so you're going to know for yourself what was going on behind the scenes. You know, the curtains are going to be drawn open. Remember the Wizard of Oz? So, you know, and then, you know, now everybody's talking about the moon landing. That's on everybody's lip now. Everybody's talking about UFOs again. And like I said, a UFO can land in the Capitol, in the front or the backyard of the Capitol, and nobody would know that it was there. An actual, genuine, real UFO. Conspiracy? Delusional? You decide. So, I just wanted to get up and say that this morning, honey. I felt, you know, I got some stuff. I'm still, you know, in doing what I'm doing and being thankful that, despite the fact that I was called crazy, and a lot of us are. I told you, a lot of black female icons were called crazy. Okay. And so you go to, all right, so if black female icons are crazy, okay. But then you have white female icons that knew something as well. Are they crazy too? Are they crazy too? You know, I told you about Marilyn, what happened to Marilyn Monroe. She was probably more courageous than, you know, than any of the others that are bestowed as, you know, high quality human beings. Judy Garland, I told you, you know, she was quieted. I think Lucille Ball, you know, but of course Marilyn Monroe was. She was shut down. And then things started happening. Is that a conspiracy? You decide. Because you know how we talk about Marilyn Monroe, right? Okay. But, you know, everything's going to be exposed thanks to AI. You know, everybody say, I want to know the truth. I want to know the truth. I want to know the truth. Okay. But I know a lot of you are not going to be able to handle it. Because you're going to wake up and realize what has happened. And you're going to wake up and realize that the damage is done. And it's not a goddamn thing you're going to be able to do about it. We only have one planet. And I told you, it's planet Earth. So, I just want to go ahead and share that this morning. I know it's kind of sobering. It could be. It could be inspiring. It could be revelative. Revelative. It could be anything. Anything can be made as anything you want it to be. Okay? Anything can be made as anything you want it to be. But I know the 144-210s, the ones that are that know something, are listening. I know that. And so I just want to say this, you know, we do, like I said, we do reincarnate. But where would that be if something happens to planet Earth? Or how would you survive if everything on planet Earth is wiped out completely and nothing's, you know? So there's a lot of things to consider. Turn this into a movie. Turn it into a book. Continue to say this bitch is crazy. I welcome it, actually. It's a compliment, by the way. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and send peace and love and go ahead and handle my day and handle my business. But trust me, I'll be back.